tell you what happened. Just let me drink a little bit. He got lost in the woods, and he didn't do what we told him to do. So I don't know what we're gonna do to get him back. Okay, Mama. Uh, Daddy is sick because he drank that special tea out of the cabinet, and he thought because he sat in the living room and listened to us talk about the tea that he knew what to do, and while we were gone, he was going to make his own breakfast and tea. Because, we had to take Vita over to Nanny Dean down the highway, down the road, because she was all beat up and busted up by that man. And, he's never went in Mama's boxes before, but she had a fresh batch up there in the cabinet, and she said, "Oh, that'll be all right till I come back, because Big Walter knows not to touch any of that." And so when we got home, we walked in the door, and we look around, and we don't see Daddy anywhere, and we go in the back, and 3 of the cows are dead. We can't figure out what's happened to them. And there's Daddy sitting on that stump. He doesn't have on his clothes, and he's yelling and screaming that he's killed him. They ain't going to hurt him no more. He's killed him. And he has the big skinning knife in his hand. And Mama has to walk up to him. "Walter, what's wrong, baby?" And he looks at her and he smiles and he starts talking to people that we don't see. We don't see nobody. She has to constantly talk to him before he puts the knife down. And we get him in the house and put his clothes on. Brodus is all shook up because he's never seen anything like that, neither have I. My daddy doesn't act that way. And we get him in, and he's talking and twitching and yelling, and it takes a while to get him to calm down. Mama has to give him some of that tea that she makes and a little bit of the syrup in it, and he finally goes to sleep, but he has a raging fever. He's been like that apparently a day. We don't know because it took us a day to get there and a day to get back. And we try everything that we have in our basket, and finally she says, "You know what we got to do? We got to go find that lady in the woods." I am terrified because I have never seen her. Only Mama was ever able to go because she had met Mama when she was little. And she says, "Only you are to come in the woods, nobody else. Anybody else that comes in the wood, we're going to kill them." Oh, it's so upsetting. So she has to send me. We pack our bags for 3 days, Brodus and I, and we have to walk because we can't take any wagon, we can't take any horse. She tells us when we're in the woods, "Follow my instructions to the letter, but be quiet. You don't need to talk around the campfire. Listen, listen, listen. You're going to hear sounds, but don't wonder about what the sounds because they see you. They know you're there, but give them a minute to let them see you, and they'll find the woman in the woods. Walk 2 days into the swamp, and when you get to the spring, Brodus, you stay there." That's what Mama told us to do, for Brodus to stay by the spring. When we got to the spring, we were to leave a bushel of corn, a couple of pumpkins, and a white flag, and leave it there. And he's to stay there. He's not to go a step further. So we have camped out in the woods for a night, and it's quiet, and it feels funny because I'm used to at night sitting in the bed talking about everything, but we can't talk because we got to get through this and get Daddy well. So I leave him at the spring, and we go in the woods. I go in the woods, and she steps out, and she's very tall. She never told me that the lady was an Indian. She just said it was a lady in the woods who knew how to heal things and to fix stuff. And I walk up to her and I said, she didn't say a word. I just tell her, I said, "My daddy is sick and my mama needs you to come. He had some of that tea that's made with the mushrooms, remember? She said you taught her how to do it and she needs you to come." And she just kind of shakes her head for a minute and she walks in the woods. She tells me to stop. She doesn't say it with words, she just says it with her hands. And she tells me to listen. And I hear this sound, all this rustling. And there's about 100 people that walk out of the woods. I didn't know Indians lived in these woods. I know the story said this had been their land, but I didn't know they lived here. and they all are so quiet and so still, and they stare at me. And the lady comes back and she gives me this plant. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. She says, your mama will know. And I take it because I'm so excited. And about that time, we all turn because we hear something. There's a man that's screaming, and he's yelling my name. Henry! Henrietta! And it's Brodus. They have him all tied up. And the lady in the woods she's upset. Mama, I told him what you said. I told him not to follow me. I don't know what to do. And they tie him up and they take him back there, and I start trying to go to him, and they tell me no. The lady shakes her head and says, if you don't get this to your daddy, he'll be dead in 2 days. I don't know what to do. I have to come back. I said, well, what about Brodus? She just shakes her head. Says, in 5 days you come back and we'll see if we still have it. I am so upset, Mother. I am so upset. I didn't want to leave him. He is my husband and I love him. But I can't let my daddy die, can I? I know I did the right thing. Well, we're going to have to hurry because the lady said if we're not there in 5 days that we're not going to see him again. And I just don't think I could go on without him. I don't. So we doctor on Daddy, and we do exactly as the lady says. We have to put him out in a hole that we dug and fill it with earth to sweat that poison out of him. Because a little bit will help you sleep well, but too much and it'll make you go crazy. We have to go over and get Mr. Bob to come and sit with him and his wife, and tell him that we've got to go to see Nanny Dean because we have sick people down the road. And they understand because we've done this before. When things are bad and we need them to watch the farm, they've come over before. And we leave Daddy in the bed. He finally recognizes us and calls Mama Big Henry, and he looks at me and says, how you doing, girl? I'm all right, Daddy. Where's that Brodus? Mama shakes her head. He's out there. He's tending to that old mule Homer. Mama has already packed our bags, and we got our cloaks, and we got our shoes and our boots. Our boots, I should say, and we're going to have to go out in the woods because we only have 2 days left to get to where we need to get. We've got to hurry. Come on, Henry. We got to hurry. We've got to go find Brodus and see what's happened. It's been a known tale that if you go out in those woods, you won't hear them until they're on you because they have had to hide themselves. Some places you're not supposed to go, and you need to learn to listen to the sounds around you. When you hear no birds, no sounds, no singing, and the silence is so loud that it screams in your ear, someone's watching you. There's something dangerous maybe going to happen. And we start walking to the woods because we've got to find Brodus. We've got to find him.